today we're going to be going over how to apply Cerakote at home. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. So today what I'm going to be doing is I got some parts that I need to get Cerakoted for an upcoming project, and I want to do a sort of a step-by-step of how I do it and the supplies needed to make that happen to get some good results. So what I've ordered from Cerakote, and I've used Cerakote before on some previous parts. So I used it on my engine block, and I used it on an oil pan, and I had pretty good results with that. I am using the C-Series Cerakote. The C-Series is just basically, it applies just like a normal paint would. They do list some specific prep work that you need to do, but otherwise it's just as simple as doing a standard paint job. That being said, the results are only as good as your prep work. So for this particular project, I did order a sandblasting cabinet, and I did a review on that on one of my previous videos. But if I'm honest, I obviously on my engine block, I did not sandblast my engine block, and I painted it, and I mean, it came out fantastic, and so far I haven't had any issues with it. But I did go through all the other preparation steps. I washed it several times, degreased it, used acetone with a brush, and sort of got it as clean as possible. I mean, I probably had great results, for one being it was a brand new engine block and it had already been, you know, degreased and cleaned several times through the machining process, but otherwise it came out good. For the C-Series paint, they do recommend that you soak the parts, clean the parts very well, soak the parts in acetone for about 30 minutes to get any remnants of grease or oils out of the part, and then blast the part with 100 grit aluminum oxide. And that is basically the prep that's required to meet the standards for Cerakote. Obviously, not everybody has access to a sandblasting cabinet, or they may have only a couple parts they're going to do, and they're not really going to fork over the dough for a sandblasting cabinet to do that for a couple parts, right? So you can outsource that, obviously, or like I said, just like regular paint work, clean the part extremely well. You can use Scotch-Brite pads, or maybe like 600 grit sandpaper to get the part sort of etched so the Cerakote has something to stick to, and then clean it. There's other YouTube tutorials on Cerakote. They've used brake cleaner, acetone, whatever. Just make sure the part is extremely clean. So I'm going to be using the burnt bronze. I also purchased their spray gun from them. It's obviously not Cerakote spray gun. I think it's Iwata. Yeah, their PH80. I used it on the previous project. Worked really well. It is kind of expensive. Again, other people have, for smaller parts, I've even used airbrushes. You can go up to Harbor Freight and get one of the cheap little guns, as long as it uses the correct nozzle and you strain it with the correct strainer. I've also just got some powder-free gloves. So I have some parts that are actually soaking in acetone right now. And once that final cleaning has taken place, you don't really want to touch the part anymore and get oil or grease from your fingers or anything on that part, because it's not going to adhere all that well. And then obviously I've got a breathing mask, and then the strainers that I got from Harbor Freight. I did have the 100 micron strainer from Cerakote and ordered when I got my gun, but I was an idiot and didn't really clean all that well, and once the Cerakote hardened to it, it was pretty much useless. So I just went and got a package of these disposable filters from, or the strainers from Harbor Freight, and then a paint suit. For this project, I do have several parts, and I do plan on probably Cerakoting stuff in the future. So that's kind of why I got the blast cabinet, as well as I got one of the inflatable paint booths from B-bore. It's the 13 by 8 by 8. It's perfect size. I have like a 2-car garage, plus it's got a little extra area, but it's the perfect size to actually, I can blow it up in my garage. Obviously leave the garage door open so the air can ventilate out. The blow up paint booth is great because it does have the charcoal filters on each side. So I don't have to worry about like a lot of overspray or fumes or anything sort of drifting out. This will be my first time actually using that paint booth, so we'll see how that goes. Other than that, pretty simple. I'll show you some parts that I've already blasted. Like I said, you can watch the other video and see how the blast happened, how well that worked out. But I've got some parts that are already blasted. Like I said, they're soaking in acetone, and we'll go from there. So as you can see, I went and bought a 17-gallon bucket from Home Depot, and then I've got a 5-gallon jug of acetone over here. The acetone actually wasn't actually about $100 for a 5-gallon jug of that. But anyway, you can see I got some screws and nuts and bolts and things that are soaking in acetone that I've sandblasted the tops on. I got a timing cover made of aluminum, obviously, and it's been blasted. In my rear differential cover, the differential itself, and the valve cover, and then in the bucket it's actually soaking are some components to the differential, the valve cover, and then some other legs that go on the bottom of the diff. Like I said, I only put like maybe about 2 inches worth of acetone in there. Periodically just take a brush and push it over the part to keep it soaked. I really don't want to fill the whole jug up with acetone, and that'd be a nightmare. These parts are almost done being soaked. I got about 5 more minutes, sort of basting them. I'll take those out. I'll soak the rest of these parts, and then we'll blow up the paint booth, and we'll see about painting. So, as you can see, the booth is all blown up. These are the big charcoal outlets I was talking about. There's one on each side. Moving on down, you can see we've got the 2 fans. One's for to actually blow up the booth. And the other one's for the fresh air to be blown into the booth, to be filtered out. You can also see, I mean, it's pretty dang big. Back side, you've got the whole side that unzips, has a big door. On the front side, you've got that little half zip for a door. Up at the top, you see the little rings, the little cloth rings you can use to hang stuff, lights or whatever. It's got the visible see-through plastic at the top for more light. Plenty of room. All right, let's see about painting this stuff. partially cured by then, and then 5 days should be fully cured. Turned out pretty dang good. I only had one little spot on my timing cover down at the front seal that honestly I'm not too worried about because the harmonic bouncer would cover that up, but other than that, turned out pretty freaking awesome.